we are going to start our descent. Please make sure your seat belts and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed under the seat or in the overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. Thank you.
Well, welcome to Team Noble. This is our World Flight 737-800 simulator. In November this year we will have 8 pilots who will be flying this around the world. The roster will be seen below on this particular page. At the minute we're just doing a test run. We're slowly descending into Jakarta in Indonesia. From Perth, we've just begun our descent. We have approximately 124 miles to run, and it's scheduled to take us around about 20 minutes to touchdown. Currently at flight level 330 on descent, as I said, and we're about to start our initial descent checklist on arrival. So, looking at our initial descent, first thing is seatbelt signs on, air conditioning is set, anti-ice can now be turned off on descent, so that our conditions are good coming into Jakarta. Transition altitude QNH is set to 1008, which is the current conditions. Coming in on runway 25 left. The engine start selectors now to flight. The FMC is all programmed with our approach. And now we just wait for 10,000 feet, and then we turn on the landing lights and prepare the second half of the approach. We were going to do a full ILS landing, but unfortunately we had a little bit of a bug and ILS isn't working at the moment. It will be fixed shortly, but can't do anything about it right now. So this is going to be a fun approach in the fact that it's now turned into full manual and visual approach into Jakarta. So the ILS being the instrument landing system where the beacon at the end of the runway actually guides the plane down. So we don't have that option on this flight, so it's all me, unfortunately. Well, we've got some time, a little bit about NobleAir. NobleAir is a virtual airline in the fact that it's a group of enthusiasts who own something similar to Microsoft Flight Simulator, or more lately the Lockheed Martin Prepare 3D. And we fly as would a real airline. Choose what aircraft you want to fly, and you pick your places, and off you go. We simulate the loadings of aircraft, and many aircraft, doesn't matter whether you like Airbus or Boeings or numerous others, vintage aircraft on their system as well. NobleAir.net is the website if you want to have a look, and if you're interested in aviation and own a copy of the Flight Simulator, doesn't matter whether it's a simple joystick, single screen, standard home computer setup, or whether it's something a bit more elaborate. It's everybody's welcome. So we're currently passing through flight level 250, still now approaching Jakarta. We've got our missed approach altitude set for 3,000, and 3,000 feet is where we'll take over manual for our landing. We've got even though it's a manual approach, it's not an emergency situation. There's no need to inform passengers or anything like that. As I said, it's a Boeing 737-800. I built it in my house. It's taken 3 years. It's full size, 1-to-1 scale, 2-person simulator. Every knob, switch, dial, gauge, all works exactly like the real ones. It's based on a piece of software called ProSim 737. As you can see, unlike your normal Microsoft Flight Simulator where you can go in and pick your aircraft type, unfortunately with this you're restricted to one. That would be the 737-800. So to build something like this, you've really got to be a fan of the aircraft, because once you've got it, it's all you've got. So we're still on our approach, passing flight level 220 now, on our way to Jakarta. In about 40 miles we'll be making a final turn towards the runway. We have 13 minutes to run now to the ground. We're still doing over 300 knots on the descent at the moment. We'll slow down at 10,000 feet. Anything below 10,000 feet is restricted to 250 knots. 312. We actually have a ground speed of 419. So you actually travel over the Earth a lot faster than we do in the air. As we approach 10,000 feet, we'll have a few little items that we'll have to work through with our checklist. So then things start to become a little bit busier, and below 3,000 feet they'll become very busy. Our little cockpit here, we run twin iPads that you can't see through this. One iPad has the checklists loaded. The second iPad has the approach, what we call the approach plate, loaded on the screen. That shows me how we're actually going to Jakarta and to the runway. The angles that we come in at, the distances that we come in at, and so on. As far as the sim goes, we run 4 computers for this simulator. One does the outside views, one drives all the flight instruments that you see, one runs the actual ProSim software itself, and we have an instructor station. Instructor station can do horrible things to me. It can throw failures, weather, change atmospheric conditions, all kinds of weird and wonderful things. Also acts as our dispatch as well, so it prepares the flight plans and flight routes and so on. We try to keep the sim as real as possible, so we actually use real checklists from Boeing. We have all the real emergency guides, the manuals, and we subscribe to a group called Navigraph. So we actually run all the real world charts and flights for the different airports as well. We replicate 24,000 airports around the world, and all in good detail. So we're over Indonesia at the moment, we're over the islands, and got multiple layers of cloud at the moment. We've got pretty much a tailwind, but we'll be turning, so they'll turn into a crosswind as we land 7 knots at the moment. I'm showing 56 miles to run, so we're still on schedule for a 0820 Zulu landing, 0810 now, so 10 minutes. Coming up on 14,000 feet, still descending 313 knots. When we get closer to 10,000 feet, we'll start to bring some other stuff in. Okay, we've got a fairly sharp turn coming up at around about 10 miles. As we turn towards the runway. We've got no significant weather to worry about at the moment, so I've got the weather radar on, but there's nothing at the moment. It's very puffy, white clouds, no real sign of rain. Unlike when we left Perth this morning, it was pouring out of rain, had about 4 inches of water over the tarmac, and visibility was about half the runway length. We're just passing through 12,000 now. It's still descending. About to do the turn about 4 miles, which is look, there we go, we're starting to turn. We're around below 11,000 feet now. Okay, so there we go. We're going to slow down now, so we'll throw out the air brakes. You can hear there. We'll also set the auto brake on landing. And the landing lights are on. And just a quick check at the checklist, make sure we haven't missed anything on the approach. Final approach landing, master recall, all the lights are out, that's good. Missed approach altitude is set to 3,000 feet, speed brake is out at the moment, it will be armed by the time we come down. Flaps, we'll start extending the flaps very shortly. In fact, we'll start descending the flaps now, flaps 2, bring the aircraft down and slow it down. You've got to set up very early on the approach on this aircraft because he tends to overspeed. Other than that, we're very heavy. We've got a full passenger loading on board.
If you have booked a connecting flight but don't have a boarding customers, please proceed to any service counter immediately after your arrival. If you already have a boarding card, then go to one of the display boards in the airport and double check the departure gate. If your luggage is already checked through to your final destination, you don't have to worry about it. It will be transferred automatically. For further questions, please need to ask the cabin attendant or a ground person after arrival.
As you can see on the simulator, we have all the cabin announcements and bits and pieces. So we're descending through 90,000 now at 196 knots, slowing down. Our touchdown speed will be somewhere around about 145. Still descending towards the airport, passing through 8,700. slowing the aircraft down at the moment. Just keeping it well under control, nice and slow and easy. Right, we'll go flaps 10. So flaps 10 will hold us at about 170 knots. And we'll do that till we're about 10 miles from the runway. At 10 miles from the runway, we'll put out the landing gear and full flat. And then disengage the autopilot and we'll bring it in from there manually. We're just passing through 7,000 feet now, 168 knots, flaps 10. We'll put the speed brake back to the arms position, ready for touchdown. We've got a very, very subtle left-hand bend coming up, about 12 miles. That's just out to line us up with the runway as a final approach course. At that point there, we'll take over control and fly us in manually. Just passing through 6,000 feet. And approaching to Jakarta. Still on the correct descent profile at the moment, so the aircraft still has control, but it won't be landing for us. It'll be a full manual landing. With our slight left-hand turn coming up at about 7 miles.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach. I'd like to thank all of you for flying with us today. We appreciate the business and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Coming through 4,200 feet. the airfield in sight. As I said, it's a good day. We've got a few little puffy clouds, but no significant weather to worry about. We've got 7 knot wind straight on the nose. The horn you just heard tells me that we're approaching the altitude that we have set in the autopilot, and that's the altitude we will take over for the manual landing. Still on our approach at the moment. Okay, a turn about to come up, turn to the left. It's a very, very subtle turn. We head towards the runway now. We've got the runway inside, so what we'll do now is we'll landing gear down, full flaps. That's just us turning off the autopilot, so now we actually have full control of the aircraft, and we're actually on our way down now to the runway. The flaps are almost fully extended. Got clear visual on the runway at the moment. The numbers you'll hear call out are just our altitude calls. So that will give me a warning as to when we're getting closer to the ground. The airport's clearly in view now. Runway's in view. Still a bit high. Not much, only a couple of 100 feet high, so that's alright. Enough time to recover that. Okay, so quick checklist. Auto brakes set, landing gears down, flaps are full, speed brake armed, pre-landing checklist complete. Okay, here we come in for the approach. Just about to touch down. Lined up on the runway. Slowing the aircraft down now.
500, 400, 300, 200,
Brake rate,
100, approaching minimums, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 9,
aircraft slow down now until we get to about 80 knots. That's it there. Then we shut down the engine, reverse it, turn off the auto brakes, stand on the brakes so that we can take the next taxiway. There we go, down to taxi speed. Now we start the EPU, turn off the pilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. For your safety and comfort, we ask you to please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please check around your seat for any personal belongings you may have brought on board, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins. Heavy articles may have shifted during the flight. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope to see you on board again soon.
Okay, we're at taxi speed now, we're 12 knots. It's a comfortable speed, and we're taxiing towards the terminal. The APU started. Don't turn off the seatbelt sign until we get to the terminal. And now put our flaps away. So the flaps up, speed brake lever locked, down position. Okay, so we've got our gate now. We're about to do a sharp turn. Let's double back to get us to the air bridge. There we go. So slick it around. Lining us up with the gate. Approaching the terminal now. Slowing down. 3 knots. Gently to the gate. And throttles off. Park brake set. Drop us onto the APU generator. Seatbelt sign off. And now we can kill the power. Now we've got the air bridge coming out to join onto the aircraft at the moment, and we can turn off the anti-collision lights and put our strobe light off, and our doors start opening and the passengers start disembarking. And that's pretty much it. Welcome to Jakarta, and thank you Flying Team Noble. And as I said, stay tuned. Join us back in World Flight in November, where we'll actually be broadcasting all the flights live as we run rotational cruise around the world.